Hello and welcome to Boomer Live. We are back again with yet another live. Today we're going to talk about Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Kolkata Knight Riders. To talk about the match, it was Royal Challengers Bangalore who won the toss, put KKR to bat on a sluggish wicket where they only managed to score 128. RCB bowled them out. And in response, you can say that RCB hopped, and had a lot of
Hello.
stoppages and finally managed to score a score of 129 where they chased it down, and it was Dinesh Karthik who was in the end finishing things off for RCB yet again. He has been playing
Yeah.
the finishing role pretty well. So I have Nikhil and Sandeep Bani, the new face on the live, joining us. Nikhil, I'll get to you first up. Nikhil,
Yeah.
you saw this wicket. What did you make of the wicket, and what did you make of KKR's approach? First up.
Uh, I think it was a classic case of both teams trying to come to grips with the kind of wicket that was there. As you said, it was a sluggish wicket, and I think in the first few overs only we saw both Venki and Rane trying to find the gap, but it wasn't that easy. And I think credit to Bangalore that they bowled very well with the new ball, and as something that we've always discussed, if in the power play, if you can dismiss the top two guys very early, then you are setting the tone for the rest of the guys to come in and just attack. And I think that is what we saw happening with Bangalore, that they constantly put pressure on somebody like a Nitish Rana and the others following him as well. That they were always made to feel that they had to break free. That's what I think caused that bit of an early collapse, because towards the end, we saw how Umesh and Varun could freely play their shot. But again, that
Right.
was because the conditions were slightly better
Yeah.
then, and they were playing with a different mindset. But I
Yeah.
think they're probably in a bit of a hurry. I don't know if you can call it that, but I'll give the credit to Bangalore that they bowled good lines, and some of it was very, very obvious. But again, you just have to execute better, and I think that's where they were a bit short. Hasaranga coming up with four, and then Harshal Patel bowling two wicket maidens. I mean, you don't see
Yeah.
that often. So I think it was a very
Right.
good bowling performance from RCB.
Right, absolutely. Sandeepani, I'll come to you. Sandeepani, you as someone who was talking about Hasaranga as well. So, what did you make of his bowling? Because he's someone who RCB has definitely entrusted upon with 10.75 crores. Do you think he has done a good job on this? Because this is a tailor-made pitch for him. And what did you make of his bowling? See, I think we're facing an issue with Sandeepani. Nikhil, I'll get to you with that question. Meanwhile, he joins.
Yeah, I think after that first game, I think he'll be very happy to have come good on a track that we said was perfectly right for him to come off, and he got crucial wickets as well. It's not that he got uh, just towards the end that he got flurry of wickets. He the ball to bowl to Jackson, I think, was really good, and it was like one of those just classic KKR dismissal for the day, that maybe he didn't read it, played for the leggy, and had was bold. So I think Hasaranga is a key factor for RCB to come off. I mean, he came down to bat so down the order. It just tells you how deep a batting lineup they have. So his all-round skills are always going to be very useful. I think he could possibly be the Rashid Khan that uh, RCB have. They're like for like replacement for Yuzvendra Chahal, but also an
Right.
all-rounder who can bat.
Absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. Because on the amount of money they've spent on him, amount of,
Yeah.
the kind of purse they've absolutely gone because they couldn't get used to in the Chahal. Sandeepan,
Yeah.
I'll get you with the same question as well. What would Asranga actually add value to this RCB team? Because Philip Chahal was not someone who could actually contribute with the bat, but now you have someone who's a very good and a potent leg spinner with an incredible googly, and also a player who can contribute with the bat. Today also you saw him play one shot, and if he would have stayed in the end, he possibly could have finished the game off for them as well. So what did you make of Hasranga?
Yeah, actually, in yesterday's banter, first of all, hello everyone. I'm having some
Hi.
issues with the audio, so I can't really listen to, I did not listen to most of it. But speaking about Hasaranga, yesterday in the banter, I said the one person that I won't have in my team is Hasaranga. That was only out of hope, because Hasaranga, as we all know, is a class player. I
Right,
basically wanted him not to perform, but
Uh,
he has been performing really well in the international circuit. But one
yeah.
may even argue that it is only because he plays most of the the weaker opponent. Sri Lanka does not have not toured say England or Australia for a long tour in a very long time.
right,
So he has performed exceedingly well in the T20 international circuit. So just today he proved his class in this game.
Good.
There's a banter coming in.
Ah, definitely, definitely pick Hasaranga. Umang, definitely pick Hasaranga in your next team. As long as they are not playing KKR.
Right, right.
Priority
Right.
is sorted.
Yeah, you have a fantasy guru
Priority
Nikhil
sorted.
himself over here,
Yeah.
so I think that works. And me being an RCB fan, I'm just overjoyed today. Finally, a win, and you can see that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So Nikhil, coming to you.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the batting of
Yeah.
RCB and also the bowling of Umesh Yadav. What did you
Yes.
actually make of this pitch today over there? Especially in the second innings, there was dew, but then still
Yeah.
the ball was flying around for paces when they landed in the good areas, and ball
Yeah.
was dropping quite a bit for someone like a Sunil Narayan or for someone
Yeah.
like Varun Chakravarti as well.
Yeah, as I said, no, it was a proper sluggish wicket, probably two paced, and just a wicket that Umesh loves. You know, he can skid onto the bat, and he bowls that length as well, where you're not always comfortable. I mean, Virat looked really good to me in the first over that he faced, and it looked like, wow, this could be the day that we could see a
Yes,
Virat special. But come Umesh Yadav, he bowls in the right area again. Kohli feels for that one. It's just proper test match stuff. Where
right,
and I'm actually very happy to see that as a bowler loving fan, that it is great to see bowlers trying to ask the batsman a lot of questions. It's not always slam bang. So in that sense, I think it was. I wouldn't say it was enjoyable to watch, because towards the end it almost got to a stage where you're not sure who is going to win. Both teams are trying to just pull each other down. So in that regards, I think the knock played by Rutherford and Willie, the partnership was very crucial, because it settled RCB down. And that is why they could use that batting depth, that you could see Dinesh Karthik coming in only in the last 4 overs. I mean, had they lost a few more wickets up top, maybe DK would have had to come in the eighth, ninth over, which I don't think has worked well for KKR itself,
right.
because they've tried that. So I think it was a slowish, sluggish wicket, and I think it's what we'll see in a game tomorrow as well at Brabant, where I think
Right.
the wickets are they're already starting to help bowlers a bit more, if you can call that. So hopefully we'll have a good mix of them where we have a 200 score as well. But I will not mind such games as well. I like one odd games in 4 5 games.
Yeah, absolutely. These kind of games can be tricky because the moment you saw 128, maybe for RCB fans, the memories of 49 would have kicked in at some stage as well. Because 17
For
for two,
sure.
Umesh Yadav on the other end. It was back then, it
Yeah.
was Chris Vokes, Umesh Yadav calling the grand home.
Yeah.
Sandeepani, as a KKR fan and as an analyst, you follow the game very closely. What did you make of the Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, especially when it comes to this low total? Do you think he uses resources or he marshaled his resources pretty well?
I think Shreyas Iyer did an excellent job, given like KKR went with only six bowlers. Like they had only six
Yeah.
bowling option, because you don't really count Nitish Rana as a bowler. Like I know he has dismissed
Not-
Virat Kohli and ABD Villiers once, but like it's once in a blue moon.
yeah.
So he had only six bowling options, and I think he could have used Venkatesh Iyer a bit earlier instead of giving Russell that over. But again, we can be very critical about his performance, but he did an excellent job. Like
Right,
handing Tim Southee the ball in the 18th over, anybody would have gone with Russell, like in Russell, Southee, Russell in this order in the last 3 overs. But he took that gamble and he went with Tim Southee in the 18th over, which resulted in 2 wickets. So yeah, like giving Venkatesh Iyer to bowl the penultimate over was a risk, but that actually paid off. If we could have just got that run out, I think the
Yes.
result would have
Maybe.
been completely different.
Maybe.
right.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah, that we have a question, and I'll add to that as well. We were just talking about it before we went live. Faf in the post match came out saying that Dinesh Karthik is someone who will come close to MS Dhoni when it comes to final over flourish. And
Yeah.
today's match, there could have been questions. If RCB would have been on the other end of things, people could have
Yeah.
definitely questioned saying that why send the Shahbaz? Why couldn't you have sent Dinesh Karthik at number 5 or even at number 4? Nikhil, what do you reckon about Dinesh Karthik, the finisher? Is number 7 the ideal position for him? I'll take you back to a game in Nidahas Trophy as well, where he came to bat at number 7 and he finished things off in India. So he quite enjoys playing there, it seems. But then, what do you think about that and Faf's comments as well?
I think, due respect to Faf, I think it's fair that Dinesh Karthik is probably the next best finisher that India have not used. So it's a sad part that didn't trust DK enough, especially after those heroics. So that said, I think that is where DK should be batting. He's 36, but he's still showing that he has the skills. He has the range hitting that he can use, and I think he's one of the best players in that role. So why change that role when you know somebody is so good at something? You would not want him to face too many balls too early and then waste him out trying to do a role that he there is somebody else who can do that role as well. Like somebody like a
Right.
Shahbaz Ahmed, I think he came in and did his job to perfection. I mean, Russell came in, he went after him, got a couple of sixes off, and he tried to hit out the spinner as well, which is what his role was. So I think they banked on experience. They held back Dinesh Karthik so that others can try and wrap the game up. If not, they at least still have Dinesh Karthik in the sheds to ensure that the game is gone through the line. I mean, Harshal Patel is also a very good bat. I mean, we saw him hit those two boundaries which were needed. So they have deep batting lineup, and that is what the role of DK is in this side. That you can hold on to somebody like him and send him only when there are last few overs left. So that is, I think, his role to try and just finish the game and not sending up as a collapse arrester or something else. Because I mean, you have somebody like a David Willey who batted in the middle overs. So I think credit to both Rutherford and David Willey that they could play both Narain and Chakravarti that well, and they actually they settled the RCB, because had they lost
Right.
few more wickets, this innings could have gone very differently for RCB.
Right, right, absolutely. Sandeep, I'll have a question on the similar lanes as well. Dinesh Karthik last year at KKR, you people used
Yeah.
him at number five, number four. And there was no clarity on it. Do you reckon that's where you probably would have, misused him a tad bit?
Yeah, I mean, Dinesh Karthik was the captain in the 2019 season. He
Yeah.
was the captain, and he decided to come down late in the order or promote himself up the order.
Um,
So
Yeah,
KKR, their batting order depends on match situations
yeah.
solely. But in today's game, I would also like to give credit to Harshal Patel.
Yeah.
Actually, if he hadn't hit those two boundaries in the penultimate over,
Yes.
Karthik would have been under a lot of pressure in the final over.
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah,
And sometimes as we have seen in the past, for KKR, Kartik has crumbled under the pressure in the like in the final overs.
I do like one thing how you asked him that you guys used him like this. So it's a good way to just assign the team entirely to the person. That's good.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a carry forward from last night's banter. So,
Okay.
I'm still
Okay.
in that mood. Yeah. So, coming, Nikhil,
Yeah.
Andre Russell, for
Yeah.
KKR has been a giant. He has
Yeah.
done whatever you asked him to do. Even today's match, one batsman who could possibly bat at that strike rate was Andre Russell. And you know of Andre Russell's love affair with RCB. He loves playing
Yeah.
against him. He has some of the greatest IPL innings against the same franchise.
Yeah.
But today, yet again, we see an Andre Russell who's struggling with fitness. Do
Yes.
you reckon KKR would have spent a little tad over the price on Russell retaining him number one, knowing that he's been getting consistently injured over the last three seasons? It'll be hamstring, not today, it's a shoulder, and he's been getting injured. Different injuries have been occurring onto him. So, what is your call on Andrew Russell, the player, and considering his injuries, and how will KKR manage going forward in the season?
I think it's just a classic example to say that how many seam bowling all rounders are there in the world right now. You could literally count them on your fingers that okay, these are the seam bowling all rounders. How many of them are good enough to make into 11s of sides? So that is where you realize that because they are such a rare commodities, you want to preserve them, to hold on to them as much as you can. And you can see how much KKR loves or trusts Andre Russell, that they've always showed faith in him. And I think Russell has done his fair bit as well, even when he's injured, that he's hobbled and bowled well. So it's not just a one-way affair. I mean, I'm sure if Russell could be more fit, he would want to be more fit. So,
Yeah,
but maybe it's probably a sign for KKR to start looking beyond him as well. I will not say it is too late or too early, but there are definite signs. Even today, you saw Venkatesh had to bowl an over because I think Russell wasn't that at his fittest. So they'll have to soon finding a way to use Russell differently. I mean, use him at the same way with the bat, no doubt there, but with the ball, you may not get 2 to 3 overs out of him. And I don't think they should push him as well, because as you see what Russell can do, There are very few people in the world can do that. And I would want Russell the batsman to be available far more, to be very honest, than Russell the bowler. So that is my personal take on him. That I think Russell the batsman is far crucial for him to be getting injured while walking or while trying to bowl.
Right, right, right. Now we'll come to that segment of the day where we talk about the fantasy players who have done well.
Yes.
This is a segment where Sandeepani also loves because he's the one with the numbers, and we've got Nikhil who has been performing in this segment. Uh, so we have the booming five of the day, and let's see who all made it.
Yes.
I'm sure Sandeepani, you don't have the number one player, so I'll get to the so the
And
other
I am
four.
sure most of you did not have the number 2 player as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty sure.
Fair.
And
Fair call.
fair point on that. Correct. So Sandeepani, how is your team? And I'll get to Nikhil after that.
I my team, I think we it is clear that we did not do too well today, especially because Virat Kohli failed, Fab du Plessis failed,
Yeah.
Narayan did not have the best of outing. Like he was good, but like we expect
Yeah.
more from Narayan. Also, extending something which Nikhil said, like about Russell. I feel that he's like KKR should definitely look beyond him because they should have an alternative option
Yeah.
so that
You have
they can
Venkatesh
use,
Iyer
because
now, though
Russell was
not a
not even
that
fit in
talented
the,
hitter, but
Yeah.
yeah, Russell was not even fit in the, like the main games in the last season as well. He just came for
Yeah.
the finals.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also about yeah, the fantasy teams. I think I did not perform too well today, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Like I had
Yeah.
Harshal Patel in my team. Everybody
yeah.
will
Yeah.
have Harshal Patel in their team after the purple cap, and he bowled two consecutive wicket maidens. Like I
Cricket
think that's
maidens.
the first time
Yes.
in IPL history somebody has bowled two consecutive
Possibly.
IPL
Possibly.
maidens. Yeah,
Yep.
wicket
Yeah,
maidens. Yeah.
yeah. So that, okay, Nikhil, coming to you. I'm sure that you did not have Akashdeep for sure.
For sure.
What? How was your day at the fantasy outing?
I think it was still very good. My captain was Harshal Patel, so I'm very thankful for that. And my differential player or the credit saver was Sheldon Jackson, and I'm delighted that he got me points. I wanted him in the team for his catching points, and he's given
Oh,
me enough points to ensure that I did not end up on the losing side. Like I'm somebody who backs bowlers more than batsmen. I cannot trust batsmen. I don't know why I've become like this, but I feel there are far more returns possible. And Harshal Patel saved me at the end because I didn't have both Tim Yadav and Umesh Yadav. I frankly did not expect Umesh Yadav to again repeat what he did in the first game. Tim Yadav I had because I felt he could contribute with the bat as well, and which is why again today also second innings my second innings went very good because I had 49 in mind. I kept Tim Saudi as the captain in one and Umesh Yadav as the captain in the like captain vice captain in that combination. So whatever I had invested, I had got back thanks to that second innings feature that I have that I love.
absolutely. And if you guys also want to know these tips, Nikhil is
Yep.
doing a full-on course with Mad About Sports. Nikhil, I hand over to
Yes.
you and to talk about this course.
Yes, as I've been talking every day about this, that every day you will find some of the common guys not performing. So then you and me cannot end up pulling our hairs down, thinking that how do we end up making profit? Now I made profit today. I got my investment back. I in fact made profit because I had a combination that was far more safer. Yes, it was risky to make Harshal Patel the captain, but if you go by data, you can still make him the captain, but that will come with research, that will come with gut feel, that you have to look at data, but then you have to take a call. What do you do with this data? Like somebody like Sunil Narayan, he does much better while bowling first as compared to bowling second. So if he's bowling second, you can drop him from your side. He may have high credit issue, but then he'll solve a lot of your problems because max he could take one. See, if he takes 2 3 wickets, it's not in your hand. So identifying these patterns, how to use them well in your sides, and how to make backup teams. As I said, my life savior has been second innings in the last few years. If you know the conditions are such, you can definitely try out a second innings combination where you can make bowlers a captain. Everybody came in with Faf and Kohli as captain, vice captain. I
Right,
had bowler as captain, vice captain, and they gave me double points than what these two get. But again,
right,
that was because I saw the game. I had that a feeling that okay, this is not going to be an easy chase no matter what happens. So some days it will come out, some days it will not. So that is all that I've discussed in detail in the course, that how to pick the series, how to pick the data, how to use that data, and how to identify if you're losing, why you are losing. So I think all of these are very critical factors. A lot of us go away from fantasy cricket thinking that it's all luck. It is not luck. It is a lot of skill, and then you need the luck. If you don't have the skill,
Right,
that luck is never going to come to you. So
right.
that is what all it's about. I'm sure there will the link will be in the description. So please check it out. IPL is the time to make money. As I say, learn to earn. That is my mantra for fantasy cricket. Whatever you want to do, learn from your games, and that is when you learn.
Absolutely. And yeah, guys, do remember that we give you all the features related to fantasy and we give you fantasy tips as well. A man behind it is on the screen today, which is Sandeepani, who has been working a lot on giving these tips and getting this data out. So, and we have Nikhil as well to give you the expertise on that. So, if you do not want to lose money without financial risk, you have to go to one platform, and that is Boomer 11. This IPL season win price is up to $5,000 playing on Boomer 11.
Wow.
And do remember, it's totally free to play. And having said that, thank you, gentlemen, for joining this post match analysis. I hope you guys had a
Yes.
good time discussing. Sandeepani, I'm sure that though it's been a tough night for you, but there are some really good nights coming up. So, having said
Hopefully.
that, thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night and see you all again tomorrow.
Yes. Have a good and fit
Yeah,
night, Sandeepan. Bye bye.
yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.